Hi, and thanks for tuning in to watch Christmas by Jamie. Christmas is my favourite time of year, so come along on the journey with me and we can make some fun stuff for your house without hurting your purse too much. Click to subscribe and hope you liked what you see. Good morning everyone, it's Jamie here from the Old Creamery. Every year people ask me about my trees and how I do them, so this year I thought we'll do a quick kids tutorial on some of my tips and how I do them, and come along and follow, and we'll speed things up because you'll be here all day. But I always like to get my tree out for a couple of days and just let it sit, and that'll help it naturally fall back into some kind of position after it's been in storage for the last 12 months or 6 months if you do Christmas in July like me. What you want to also invest in once you're ready is a good pair of gloves, because when you start flocking this tree, realistically, your hands are going to get sore. So that's a little tip from me. And don't be shy when you're flocking. Like if you've got a half decent tree, they're not going to fall off in your hands. So don't be scared of getting in there. Now I'm just going to turn this off because it is spinning, as you can see. Awesome little buy, about $99, good little dream. So I kind of just get in where you've got a bit of a gap, and you want to spread them out a bit. So you can lift them up, lift them down. There's no kind of science to it, or I'm sure there is many people that don't it, but I don't. And just keep going around the tree. Occasionally you want to take a step back and just check that you don't have any major gaps. It also helps when you're putting your tree up if you look at where your joins are and try and overlap them. So when you get it in, you're not going to have too much of a gap anymore. And depending on what ornaments you also like to put in your tree, if you're like me, I have some quite larger ones. So if you have a bit of a gap in there, don't worry, because we're going to fill that with an ornament. Now I've also put the lights on the tree already. So when I try and do my lights, I try and get them in as deep as I can, because then you'll have the ornaments in front, and that'll also give you some contrast where the light shines and enhances them. So at the moment, I'm fairly happy with how that's looking, but you can spend a couple of days doing it. Also, if you've got garlands, like I have garlands around the place, I put them up for a couple of days and just let them sit, and then start fluffing them too, because they will kind of retake some shape themselves, I find. Alright, so then I like to put my ribbon on my tree. So this is some ribbon I got from, I think, Reject Shop or somewhere. I bought probably 1.5 rolls of this tree last year, and I try and find whatever theme I'm going for. So at the moment this is my candy cane tree, so it takes a couple of years, unless you've got lots of money, to buy all your things for it, and I just keep buying a new piece every year. I don't think you have to spend a heap of money at the same time, because realistically I've got some really nice pieces which I've saved up and bought things for, but Kmart, Big W, couple of dollar range. Once you've got them on mass with some other different things, it looks just as good. So when I measure for my tree, you want to pretty much go, depending on what ribbon style you're going, but I like to have mine cascaded. So I kind of roll down to the bottom of the tree, and then I add probably another fat or something, because as you get in and start waving, you're going to lose some of that length. Don't worry, because if you don't go right at the bottom, you can also finish the edges, and then it'll look perfect. So we'll see how I go doing this when I've got the camera in my hand, because it's a bit harder, but when I do my ribbon, you want to really get in, and I don't mind doing things up at the top here, because that's going to have all my tree toppers in there, and you won't see the joins anyway, but you can kind of get yourself in, and you can tie a bit of ribbon around in here. It doesn't need to be on too tight because it will kind of, the wire will help hold it in, but I will tell you the tidy this up, you get the impression. You just want it in there so it can kind of hold itself, and you can then start pinning it down. And basically when you go down, you just tuck him back in as you go in. So you find another branch, wrap it around, and you come down. Once you've used your material and you're thinking you're quite happy with it, you just keep fluffing around and making it a bit better. You can move bits and pieces. I don't like to make mine too formal. You can make it a lot more structured, I guess, into where you're laying your ribbons. If you've got any major gaps, you might want to add a bit. For example, I've got a bigger gap here, so I might add another one just to fill this corner up. But remember, you're going to have a lot of decoration on there as well, so they'll fill in the gaps as well. Now, depending on how you want to finish your bottoms, what I like to do is get the end and just start to roll back on itself. Probably 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And when you can kind of get in there to where the first little edge was, pull it back out itself, you kind of get that snowdrop kind of effect. You can unravel it a bit then. But when it's just falling from your tree, it just gives it that nice little finish to your ribbon. Now what you might find, if you haven't paid too much attention, and when you're being recorded, you lose track of it. Because I've got a big bunch here and there's a bit of a gap here, so once you're in there, you don't have to take it all out. In fact, you'll just get in there and unravel. That's especially if you're a bit like me and you do suffer from OPD, or replacement disorder. I don't know what people think, but I think it's a true condition anyway. I'm just going to move this baby. Alright, so now I can start with the main decorations. So I always like to go kind of from the top down, and I start with my big decorations first. So you can buy yourself some nice tree toppers, that's always the best way to go. And they'll really give it that pop when you get to the top of the thing. So I just kind of these are quite good because the length of the stem on them means they'll hold themselves in place quite well. But I haven't got any in here at the moment. But if you need to fasten anything to your tree, little pieces of wire work really well. Or if you go to the reject shop, you can get for like $2 hundreds of those little bauble decoration hangers. And I find them really easy just to unwind and wrap around things as you need to. 2,000 miles, it's very far. The snow is falling down. It's colder than later. But I've had a few phone calls and things in between. Tree's looking almost done. So what I like to do at the end is I keep some of my picks, like flowers and whatever I've got. So I've got these really cute like little elf legs which stick out, as well as some flowers and foliage. So you keep them to the end when you've got any larger gaps you haven't filled, and which to me just means I've got to go and buy more decorations. Never an issue. But for now, at least I can fill the gaps up and you don't have big gaping holes anywhere. But have a play, have fun, that's what it's all about. And video 2 might come up, which will be the guest room tree, which is a bit of a modern take and more rustic-y and natural kind of foliage through that one. So if you're looking for a more modernised Christmas, I guess, do stay tuned for that one. Alright, have a great day.